In this episode, I want to follow up on last week's discussion about defining your value proposition. If you've done the work and know what specific feelings you want your customers to have when they do business with you, then this week we need to bring your value proposition to life. It's as simple as doing 3 specific things in your business. Are you ready to nail down a win on stage 5 of this year's Tour to Profit? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, a show helping small business owners build a radically engaged team that can run the business without you so you can remove the stress from owning a business and enjoy the freedom you deserve. Now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
Today you'll learn that defining your value proposition does nothing to change how things work in your business. That once you've defined your value proposition, you must make sure that 3 specific things are in alignment within your business, and that once you create the alignment within your business, your customers will feel it, your team members will experience it, and your new hires will embrace it. Here's my question for you this week. What are you doing to bring your value proposition to life in your business? In last week's episode, on stage 4 of this year's Tour to Profit, we discussed how to determine what your value proposition should be for your business. As a quick reminder, we talked about how emotions or feelings were far more powerful than logic, reason, or price when consumers are making decisions on what to buy and where to buy. That's why our conversation last week was around feelings that you wanted your customers to have when they did business with you or anyone on your team. These feelings represent the true value proposition that your customers get from your business. So the first step is to get crystal clear on what those feelings should be. But that's not all you need to do. In order for your value proposition to have meaning and purpose, you must now bring your value proposition to life. Another way to say this is, what are you going to do to make sure that each and every time a customer engages with you, your business, or someone on your team, they have the feelings that you want them to have? This second step of the process is arguably more important than the first. It's relatively easy to declare what you want your value proposition to be, but yet it's another thing to bring it to life in your business. That's our challenge this week. This hit me recently when a relatively new client of mine came to one of our meetings with a nice multi-page document that was well written and described what was going to set his business apart from his toughest competition. As I read the document, I was impressed, very impressed, and I asked how long he spent putting his thoughts together on it. That's when he said, "It took me about 15 minutes. I just put a few prompts into ChatGPT and it wrote the paper for me." So there he was with a very well-written, perfectly polished value proposition document that had nothing to do with how he actually was running and operating his business. That's not what we're after. We're not looking for something to hang on your wall. We're looking for how you're going to structure and operate your business so that your value proposition is real, alive, and tangible. So let's make that happen today. I believe that there are 3 major decisions that must be made to bring your value proposition to life. Let's start with how your business is structured. The structure of your business will determine a lot about what happens with and for your customers. For example, if you have a business that's delivering low-cost products or services to your customers, then you must structure your business around efficiency. Think about any low-cost provider in the marketplace. A good example is Walmart. Their value proposition is low prices guaranteed. And because that's what sets them apart from their competition, they have to organize themselves around an efficiency model. If you've been to their headquarters in Northwest Arkansas, you'll know that they've historically been working out of older buildings with minimal amenities and very low costs. It was consistent with their low prices guaranteed value proposition. As a footnote, their recent corporate headquarters expansion is changing this, and it'll be interesting to see if they can continue to deliver on their low prices guaranteed promise when they're working from a very nice upscale headquarters. Here's another example. If your value proposition is about having unique, one-of-a-kind products, then you've got to structure your business around innovation. This makes me think about Apple computers. Their products are unique. Unlike a regular PC or cell phone, an Apple computer and iPhone have unique features and capabilities. This requires them to structure their business around innovating new features on a frequent and regular basis. It's also why they come out with a new version or new model nearly every year. So you can structure your business around efficiency, or you can structure your business around innovation. Or, if your value proposition is like most businesses and focused on the feelings you give your customers when they do business with you, then you must structure your business around the experience. This is where your business likely lives, and it certainly is where my business lives. I don't have a unique brand promise, nor do I have unique products or services. What I do provide my customers is a unique experience. And I would bet that your value proposition is like mine, where the experience is what sets your business apart from your competition. If so, then every aspect of your business needs to be structured around the feelings that you want your prospects and customers to get when they engage with you, your team, or your website. That means your website needs to reflect the feelings you want to deliver. That means your phone answering script needs to reflect the feelings you want to deliver. That means your waiting room needs to reflect the feelings you want to deliver. That means your front desk staff must reflect the feelings you want to deliver. That means your sales process must focus on the feelings you want to deliver. You got it? Everything must be designed to deliver the feelings you want your customers to have when they engage with you. So think about that for a minute. Are your business processes structured to deliver the right feelings? If not, then you've got some work to do to create this alignment. Now let's talk about the second big decision for your business. In addition to how your business is structured, you must also determine the culture you need and want to exist in your business in order to serve your customers in a way that delivers the feelings you want them to have. Your culture is essentially a collection of behaviors that you allow to exist among your team members. I know this area can be a bit confusing or complicated, but I'm going to try to make it clear and simple. Some people suggest that your culture just happens, based on where your business is located or the kind of people you hire. I disagree. Well, I don't disagree in that it can just happen, especially if you as the business owner don't do anything to impact the culture, but I disagree that you should just let it be what it will be. I believe that as the business owner, you must define and declare what you want your culture to be, what behaviors you'll require and allow when someone's engaging with your customers. I call these your non-negotiable behaviors. If you want your customers to have specific certain feelings when they do business with you, then you must set out the behaviors that you want everyone on your team to exhibit and display when they're at your place of work or when they're working on behalf of your customers. Here are a few examples to make my point. If you want your customers to get the feeling of speed, then you need your team to be prompt, efficient, and focused. If you want your customers to get the feeling of cared for, then you need your team to be empathetic, caring, nurturing, and comforting. If you want your customers to get the feeling of security, then you need your team to be focused, engaged, watchful, mindful, and thoughtful. I could go on and on. The feelings will come from the way you and your team behave. So being very specific with the behaviors you need and want from your team is critical. And these are not just a wish list. These are our requirement. In some cases, you cannot tolerate anything less, or your customers will not get the experience you want them to have. Hopefully this makes sense. It's a critical decision that must be made to bring your value proposition to life. And now finally, the third major decision that you must make in your business to bring your value proposition to life is the people you hire and train. There's no question that the real power in any business comes from the people you hire and train to serve your customers. Once you understand fully the feelings you want your customers to have when they do business with you, and you outline the behaviors you want and need those on your team to show every day, all day, when they're at work, it then becomes easier to interview for, select, hire, and train the right people to join your team. It also becomes easier to identify those who do not fit properly on your team. Let's face it, most business owners have one or more people who've been on their team for a while, but they just don't have the right attitude or just don't show the right behaviors or don't care about their customers the way that they could or should. If you happen to have someone on your team who doesn't fit your desired culture, or worse, someone who undermines your desired culture, then you must let them go find a better place to work. If you don't, others on your team will see that you're not really serious about delivering the value proposition you're talking about. Don't fall into this trap. Be firm and make it difficult for people to get on your team. Make it a privilege to join your team and serve your customers. I can assure you that when you have a team who's fully on board and committed to your value proposition, your culture, and your expectations, your job as the business owner will become much easier and your enjoyment level will go through the roof. So your assignment this week is to bring your value proposition to life by structuring your business to support your value proposition, defining the culture you want your team members to be a part of every day, and hiring and training the right people who fit perfectly into the culture you're trying to create. Do this, and you'll win this Stage 5 race by a large margin. As we wrap up today's podcast, let me leave you with these simple thoughts. Number one, once you know your value proposition, you must take specific actions to bring it to life in your business. Number two, 3 specific actions will bring your value proposition to life: your business structure, your business culture, and the people you hire and train. And number 3, don't be afraid to set the bar high when hiring for new team members. Make it difficult to get on your team, and you'll have people lined up to join you. If you'd like some additional support as we ride this Tour to Profit race, or want to tap into our free resources, simply go to my website, tourtoprofit.com. You'll find everything you need there. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss Stage 6, deciding what to start, stop, or improve. You won't want to miss it. Now, go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends so you don't ever miss an episode. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.